In this video, we're going to be designing our very own Christmas vector icons using Adobe Illustrator. So it is that season again, and we're all going to be, or most of us are going to be designing some kind of Christmas graphics for our clients, and I'm just here to help you today by showing you how to create your very own custom Christmas vector icons to level up your design. And today we're going to be using Adobe Illustrator. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be creating everything from scratch. So let's start designing. So the first thing we're going to make today is a Christmas tree, obviously, right? So let's go ahead and begin, because what is Christmas without a Christmas tree, right? Let me go ahead and hit P for my pen tool. Let me just go ahead and make a triangle. Let's make half of the triangle. Press escape. Let me just select the triangle with my move tool, pressing V, Control and C to copy, then Control, Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. And then let me go ahead and go to Object, Transform, and then Reflect. And it will reflect it for me 90 degrees. You can see you have options here. And then let me just drag it over like so, right? Let me just turn off this green for now. Turn off the fill. And you can see we already have our triangle, right, for the Christmas tree. And all I'm going to do is select both of these and right click on it. And I can click join to join the edges, because remember, this is not one shape, this is two shapes making one, right? Or I can just hit copy, Control and C, and then Control, Shift and V again, and I can drag it down to get the other portion of my Christmas tree, right? What I can do is just hold Alt and Shift and then just pick a corner and drag it out to let the second portion be larger, because the second portion of the Christmas tree, the shape is supposed to be larger than the first one, right? And I can move it up some more, like so. And I can do the same thing, Control and C to copy, Control, Shift and V to paste in the same coordinates, then move it down a little more, and then do the same thing, hold Alt and Shift, sorry, and then just click an edge or a corner, and then make it a little bit bigger, right? And you can already see that we're making progress, right? And then let me hit U for my rectangle tool. Not U, sorry, M, and then let me just drag let me just make a little rectangle here for the base of my Christmas tree. Let me select them all and align their horizontal set. Oops, I have to join them first, but before I join, let me just select the top two, click join, because remember, I have two edges that need joining, right? And let me do this for the top one, well, the middle ones, sorry. Right click, click join, select for the base ones as well, click join, right? Let me just click join one more time to make sure it's joined. All right, cool. And then now I can align everything. All right, now everything is aligned perfectly. Let me go ahead and save this, Control and S to save, and then let me name it LSPV 068 Christmas vector icon, right? Save, and we're good to go. Let's continue. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of these triangles that I have for my tree, and then I can just go ahead and hit Shift and M for my shape builder tool, and it will allow me to delete the spaces that I don't want, right? So as I mentioned, the shape builder tool will allow me to delete the areas of this combined shape that I don't want, right? So if I go ahead and hit Alt, you can see that it's going to allow me to minus this cross line right here. See that? It's gone, right? And if I do it to these right here, the triangle point, you see that? How cool is that, right? Now I have an entire Christmas tree, right? And what I can do next is I can just go ahead and hit L for my ellipse tool, and then I can just like draw some, you know, the circle ornaments, like just decorating our Christmas tree, right? Let me just duplicate this one. I'm just holding Alt, clicking on it and dragging, and it will give me a duplicate, right? See that? How cool is that, right? And that's all we have to do for our Christmas tree. What I can do is I can go ahead and select all 3 of the triangles and just join them, and it will join the edges. Well, join the edges for me as best as it can. Let me just go ahead and see if I can fill this tree, and you can see that everything is filled right with the green, but something is going on with this one right here. Let me undo that, and then let me select it and click join. All right, let's try and fill it again, and now it looks better, right? Go ahead and select these ornaments, and let me just make them red. Yeah, let me make them red, and let me just remove the outline by going up to the stroke or coming over here to my properties tab and just making the stroke 0. Right now I just have the red on the tree, and this can be any color you want, like literally any color, right? I'm just doing it for the purposes of this tutorial, and then I can also make the base of the tree here like a brown, like a wood color, right? And I can also like turn off the stroke by selecting both of these elements and just setting their stroke to 0 or their outline to 0, as I just did. And you can see that we already have like a Christmas tree icon, and you can use this and add to your graphics or your design to really your Christmas designs, sorry, to really make them stand out, right? And this is really cool. And what I can also do if I hold Control, you can see that I'm getting the options to curve in the corners of my tree, right? How cool is that, right? That's looking really cool. Let's do it to this as well. Or I can come over to my options up top, my tool options, and I can add the curvature value of like 30 pixels or however many pixels I want, right? See that? How cool is that? Let's undo that. I think I like the sharper edges. What do you guys think? The sharper edges look cool. Sharper edges look real cool. Control and S to save all that we just did. And I think I probably wanted to keep it as a black and white vector. Let me just turn back on all the strokes. Let's make them 10. 10 is fine, and let's just turn off the fill. We don't want any fill at all, right? You know how to give it color if you want. Let's just keep it without the fill, right? Now I'm just gonna group that by selecting everything and hitting Control and G, right? And then I can just move it off my artboard, right? Now I can go ahead and create something else. Now I'm going to create a Christmas ornament, right? You know, the ball that hangs on the Christmas tree. So let me just go ahead and hit L for my ellipse tool. It's pretty straightforward, right? Here's my ornament, right? This is the outline of my ornament, obviously. And the ornament can be plain. You can give it a pattern, whatever it is you want to do. You can give it a little glisten, you know, to show that it has a reflection, right? You can do whatever it is you want to do. Let me make the edges of this stroke rounded, the corners rounded, and the cap, well, the cap, sorry, not the corner, the cap. All right, that works for us for now. I mean, it's not perfect, but you can perfect this obviously because you know how to make it. So you can just go in and perfect it if you want, right? All right, and then I'm just gonna add the top of the ornament to it by hitting P for my pen tool, or let me just go ahead and use M for my rectangle tool, and then let me do about there. That looks good. Let me remove this because it's so close to the thing. You already know how to put it back if you want, right? And then let me do a smaller ellipse by hitting L on my keyboard and holding Shift to get a perfect circle. And then let me just select all of them and align their horizontal centers. And this ornament ball, you can make it red, obviously, red. Let's make the cap. The caps are normally like gold or silver, right? And then let's put this to the back by hitting Control and the left square bracket, or just right clicking, click Arrange, Send to Back, and then this is normally the same color, right? Let's use this. Yeah. Let's make it gray, so that's interpreted as silver, right? We can also let it touch if we want. And there's our ornament ball. Let me go ahead and hit Control and S to save this. And what I can do next is, let me just duplicate it. I just selected everything, held Alt, and then just clicked and drag. You see, look right here what's happening on the mouse. You see the mouse is just there, but when I click Alt, when I select everything and click Alt, the mouse doubles up, right? That's telling me that it will duplicate it for me, right? And that is what I want. Now let me go ahead and visit my duplicate, right? And then let me hit M for my rectangle tool, and let me give this one a pattern, right? Let me turn off the fill, or let me change the fill to green, you know, Christmas green. And then, oops, I mean, that doesn't look terrible. Let me just align it, right? And then I can also add a little pattern around it. I can just enlarge this. So we have two ornaments, right? And then I can just select both shapes, hit Shift and M for my shape builder tool. And then if I hit Alt, you can see it's changing from the plus sign to the minus sign. And I can just delete this area of the shape, delete that area of the shape, and look at that. I already have two different ornaments. See that? How cool is that, guys? Let me make this a little bit more green. Let me put a little more Christmas spirit into that green. That looks fine. You can even use gold, or you can fine tune the colors later, but you're getting the general idea, right? You can even have blue, you know, because blue Christmas ornaments look nice as well. So there you have it. You know how to create that portion of the ornament. Now let me move this one over. Wait, let me move this one over. All right, so we have two, right? And then let me select this one, hold Alt and click and drag it over. And I can even add some more patterns to this one, right? I can add a bunch of little circles, right? So let me change the fill on this one, or this, should I change the stroke or the fill? Let me make it a little bit bigger. Let me remove the stroke, right? Let's make the stroke 0. And if I wanted to, I can just like duplicate the circles, holding Alt, clicking, and just duplicating the circles like randomly, right? Just giving it some kind of Christmas spirit, right? What do you guys think? Let me change the color of this one so we can differentiate between the styles that we have here, right? All right, this one needs to be yellow, this yellow, this yellow, and then let me change this red ornament ball to blue, right? Just so we have something different, right? I don't want them all to be the same, but as you know, I'm probably going to just turn off all the colors like I did with the Christmas tree and make it black and white, right? Or just an outline like the Christmas tree, right? So now we have a Christmas tree and an ornament. We go ahead and hit Control and S to save, and now I can start creating something else. What you can also do is you can create artboards for each element you want to design, right? So if you were to go ahead and hit Shift and O, you'll get the artboard tool, and you can just draw another artboard, draw another artboard. See that I have artboard 1, 2, and 3, right? But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just choosing to just move them off the artboard and start a new design, right? For this one, I think I want to make a snowflake, right? Let me go ahead and draw a horizontal line by just clicking my pen tool and just dragging out a horizontal line. You know, I already have the stroke, and what I want to do next is I want to create like a little fork on the end like that, right? Then what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to duplicate this same line, just shrink it a bit, you know, make it narrower, then hit Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. Then I'm just going to rotate one of them because now I have two. And then I'm just going to let them intersect like so. And then, hold on. Come on, work with me. All right. And then I'm just going to let them intersect. Let me turn down the stroke, then I can see where it's meeting or not meeting. And I need it right there. Do I? Right here. Then let me hit join. All right, that's perfect. Let me turn off the fill because I'm just going to keep the stroke. Let me change back the stroke to 10. And then let me just align this and rotate this one. You see when I selected it, I have the control options here, so I can just rotate it, right? See that? And then I'm just gonna align it with this. See that? And then I'm just gonna create an ellipse, a circle, to go on the end right here, right? All right, let me just hit L for my ellipse tool, create that circle while holding Shift, and I'll get a perfect circle. And it's intersected right there. That really looks like a little person, doesn't it? Like a stick figure. Let me rotate it. That definitely looks like a stick figure, right? And then let me shrink this line here, because this is going to be the middle of our snowflake, right? This is what I'm making in this one, a snowflake. And then I'm going to duplicate all of this, but I'm going to select it all first, then hit Control and G to group it. And then I'm going to hit Control and C to copy, and Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates, and then rotate it, right? And then it intersects right there. And then I can join these two if I want, or I can group them, sorry, right? And then now that I have it grouped, I can hit Control and C to copy it, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. And then I can literally rotate it, do the same thing, Control Shift and V, because I already have it copied. I just copied it, right? Control Shift and V again, and then I can rotate it again. And then I can do it once more, and then I can rotate it again. And we have our snowflakes, frosted flakes. This is so cool. Let me go ahead and create a circle in the middle, just because we can. Let me hold Shift while I'm doing it. That way I get a perfect circle. Turn off the fill. Let me just move it to the center until it intersects. We have our own snowflake. Control and G to group everything. I just selected everything. Control and G to group. Now let me hit Control and S to save. And we've successfully created a snowflake. And hey, for snowflake vector icons, you can go as crazy as you want. You can go as simple as you want, right? It's like the creativity is really up to you and how deep and complicated you want to get, how intricate you want to get with your designs, right? So it's all up to you. All right, so let me just move this off of our artboard, and then we can start on our next item, right? And next I want to create a mistletoe. Now the mistletoe, we have the circle area, the ellipse area, or the what do they call that in real life? The berry, or the fake berry that I normally have. So let me go ahead and hit L for my ellipse tool, holding Shift and click and drag so I get a perfect circle. And that's the berry. And then I want to make the leaves, right? All right, let me go ahead and hit P for my pen tool. And then I'm going to design half of it and then duplicate it and reflect it so I can get the other half, right? So I want to go ahead and do something like this. And then I'm going to go ahead to my arc tool, right? It's already selected. And I want to go ahead and make an arc like about so. And then I want to like rotate it. And then just move it to the edge here. See that? And then I want to make the other part right here, I just want to use my pen tool and like it's like a leaf, right? But I want it to be like in line with the other portion of my leaf, right? And then I can just join all of this by selecting them, hit join, and then I can now duplicate it, right? So let me go ahead, select that, hit Control and C to copy it, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. Go to Object up top, Transform and Reflect. How cool is that? And there we have it. And what I can do next is select both of them and then hit join, right? We're joining it as we've done before, right? And then I can just go to my stroke options up top, you know, to check on the corners and the caps to see what I can do to get it looking a bit neater, right? And you see I got that pointy one just now. This is what I had before. And I got that pointy one. I think I like this one better. What do you guys think? I can also just like widen it if I want. Right? We go ahead and hit Control and S to save. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and make this a compound path by itself. Right click, clicking make compound path. That will make it a shape by itself or an element by itself. Illustrator will recognize it as an element by itself, right? An independent element. And then this is so cool. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use my pen tool again and just create like a vein within the leaf, right? Because in my design this would be green, and you know how it goes with a leaf, right? You know, a leaf has veins, right? But let's remove the color and then let's align all of the horizontal centers. And then the berry would obviously be red, right? Let me show you. The berry would obviously be red. I just move the berry to the front, right click, arrange, bring to front, and then what I can do next is group all of that. Oops. Group all of that by hitting Control and G. And then I can literally just reflect it, object, transform, reflect, and I can do horizontal reflection. Oh, I should have duplicated it first. Control and C, then Control Shift and V, object, transform, reflect, horizontal reflection, and then I can do like so, right? And I can rotate it once, Control Shift and V again, and I can do the same thing. Well, no, let me just rotate it manually, and then like so. This is so cool. And then I can just align these two bottom ones. Oops, let's align the vertical centers of these two bottom ones, and then just oops, just move them up together like so. And then I can move the top one to the top, right? That way I'm seeing this, I'm seeing all of this berry, and the other two are hidden. What do you guys think? Let me select both of them, Control and G, and then I can align it, right? And there you have something of a mistletoe. What do you guys think? Obviously you can duplicate it a lot more and add a lot more leaves, etc, etc, make it nice and thick, right? But you know what I'm gonna do next? I'm just gonna remove all of this color. No color. But maybe I should have kept some of the color. Let me go ahead and use a shape builder tool. Let me ungroup all of this. Ungroup. Wait, do I need to ungroup, or do I just use the shape builder? Shift and M for my shape builder tool. And I want to just delete this. Yeah, that can work. Same for here. Let me just delete this. Yeah, let me just delete that. That works, right? Do I have this grouped? No, I don't think so. All right, let me select it. Shift and M for my shape builder tool. and then let me just delete. Oops, did I delete the right thing? No, I didn't. I should have deleted it. Yeah, there it is. And then I can come inside here where it overlaps and just like use the shape builder tool and delete one of them, right? Because we're deleting one, but we're obviously keeping one of them, right? And then for this top one, no, I want all of these gone because the top berry should be the one that's visible, right? Or does it need to be? Let's mix and match it. How does that look? That looks so cool in black and white. Control and S to save, Control and G to group it all, and let's move it off to the side. So we have ornaments, snowflakes, Christmas tree, and now we have mistletoes. How are we doing so far? I think we're doing really well. And what is Christmas without a little giving? So let's go ahead and create a gift box, right? Go ahead and hit M for my rectangle tool. Hold shift and then click and drag out a perfect square. Then I'm making another square on top, or another rectangle on top for the lid of my gift box, right? Then I'm aligning it because I have my smart guides on there. You see that pink line? I'll know when my elements are aligned, right? And what I just did just now, I clicked on this top side right at that point there. All of these points you can hold and drag to like adjust the shape of your element. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it up to make it taller, and hold Alt and drag in one of the sides, and it will bring in both sides for me. And then I'm moving it down so it intersects. Let me make this a little bit wider. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and create some more rectangles by hitting M. And then I'm just gonna do like this, right? This is for the ribbon on my gift box, right? And let me just align all of these centers, right? And then I'm duplicating this ribbon right here. Control and C, Control Shift and V, and then I'm just dragging it up so the ribbon wraps up the top as well. But the reason why I didn't, let me delete that. The reason why I didn't just pull this all the way up is because in the design, I still want to see this line, right? And if I were to fill this, like just hit fill, say the bow, say the ribbon was red, right? Filled red. And this was green, like the box was green. It will just appear like this. Doing it this way would imply that in reality, the ribbon is wrapping the box and the lid at once, right? But in reality, that's not what I want, but you could do that, right? What I would prefer is to see the black line just the same. But for the purposes of this tutorial, and now that I think about it, the ribbon in real life may actually cover the box and the lid, right? Because you just put the lid on the box and then you put the ribbon on, right? So yeah, that's right. Thank you guys, that's right. All right, now I can go ahead and make a bow, right? For the bow, what I can do is I can just go ahead and hit L for my ellipse tool, make a little bit of an oval like so. I can just go ahead and make it also red, like the bow, like the ribbon that I have there. And then I'll just rotate it. I just rotate it about here. You know, let it align with the center like so. Bring it down some more. Control and C to copy. Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. Then let's go to Object, Transform, Reflect, and then let's do a, well, the horizontal one worked. And then let's just move it over just the same, and I can just add a little black shape here. Let me just use the ellipse tool just the same. Draw out a perfect circle. Is it aligned? Let me make sure it's aligned. Yeah. Do I want this to be red? Yeah, that looks cool. What do you guys think? It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And obviously, you can make these elements any color you want, right? And you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just remove all these colors and just keep the design as lines, right? And what I can do with my shape builder tool is I can just delete what I don't want, right? Select all of that, Shift and M, and I just delete what I don't want, right? I don't want that. I'm holding Alt and clicking with the shape builder tool selected, and it's just deleting all the unwanted areas for me, right? See that? How cool is that? Look at that. That's so cool. That is so cool. Shape builder, obviously it's building my own custom shape for me. And now with all of these areas selected that I do want, I can just right click and click join. How cool is that, right? And now I can, if I were to make that red again, you can see that, oops, you can see that it would give me a really custom shape for the bowl, right? Now we're looking good, right? Let's go back to black and white. Let's hit Control and S to save, and let me actually size down this box. It's a little bit too tall. No, that's not what I want. Let me size down the box by itself first. Yep, and then let me size down the ribbon. All right, Control and S to save. And what do you guys think? You just made your very own Christmas vector icons using Adobe Illustrator. Let me just bring them all side by side and see what we got. Let me extend my artboard by hitting Shift and O. And then let me just make my artboard a little bit wider, right? And then let me bring them all on. Let me bring on the tree and the mistletoe. We just made a mistletoe. That's crazy. Did I group all of this? Control and G. Bring on the snowflake. What else do I have? The ornament ball here. I'm just duplicating it and bringing it up. Let me turn off all the fill. No color. Let me go to my shape builder and just fix this right here, right? Shift and M, and I'm deleting this inside portion. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That works for me. What do you guys think? And then no, what I can do, guys, is I can make the snowflake bigger to match everything else. I can make the gift box bigger, or just move it over to this side actually. Mistletoe. Make this, oops, let me group everything. And you can see we are really, as I mentioned, it is really starting to look like Christmas. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think I want to, do I want to curve the edge of the tree? Let me curve the edge of the tree. Remember how I showed you earlier, we could just hit like Control and we would get these options in the corner. Just like make it like the edge is curved like so. And if I wanted, I can just move this off. Oops. I can just move this off a little bit. And I can curve these edges as well. What do you guys think? Curved edges or no curved edges? I think I'm liking the slightly curved edges. I think I'm liking it a lot. Yeah, I think I'm liking it a lot. Let me just delete some of these ornaments here. And let me just have like 3. Let me just have like 3. That way I don't have too much, right? What's the size there? Let's make it 130 pixels by 130. And then let's make all of them 130. Right? 130, and now it's beginning to look a lot more uniform, right? I'm really liking this. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. What do you guys think? So here's my question of the day to you guys. With all that we designed here in Illustrator. Have you ever created your own vector icons before? Have you ever created your own Christmas vector icons before? And are you planning to implement this in any of your designs coming up this holiday season, whether for yourself or for your clients? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is Cjam, and I will see you guys in the next video.